Idle Talk Cast.
Idle Talk podcast sounds more natural. Idle
No, it
Talk.
doesn't.
Hello and welcome to the no. Hello and welcome to Idle Talk podcast with Sin and Pin, which was originally
No,
what we were
see,
going to call the podcast until I intervened.
No, see, I think just welcome to Idle Talk. That just
Hello, welcome to Idle Talk.
because everyone knows that it's a podcast. So there's
Yeah,
no
go
point.
on then. But in the
All
title
right.
of the video, we call it Idle Talk podcast. People know what the piss it is.
Yeah.
All right, Idle Talk. Hello, welcome
Wonderful.
to Idle Talk. What that was the intro music just then for Idle Talk that you just heard there.
Oh my god.
And now it's time. Now you've heard the intro music. It's time for the actual podcast. Hello.
Do you want to Do you want
What
to make like I was gonna say a theme tune, but do you want to make like
No,
intro music?
I'll tell you what our intro music should be.
What?
Our intro music should be like like tequila music, right? That like 8-bit MIDI tequila music. That's our intro. I'm calling it. I'm vetoing that, alright? Our intro music is 8-bit MIDI tequila music.
I've also just noticed I have blood on my keycard. I don't know where
What?
that's come from.
You have blood
I have
on your
blood on my
keycard.
keycard. Yep, I don't
Alright.
know where that's come from.
Are you bleeding?
If it's
Pin?
mine, no, it's not. It's not coming from me.
So it's not your
That's a
blood
bit
on the
spooky.
keycard, it's someone else's
No, it's-
blood.
It's dried blood. I'm a bit
Right, if-
scared.
Oh god. Has someone like stolen your keycard and used it in like a bloody murder or something?
Probably.
Probably.
I hope, well,
Slash-
actually, no, because I
Slash
have it
someone's
on my
throat with it.
person. I have it on my person like all the time.
Could you
And it's-
could you slash someone's throat with a keycard? Could you slash someone's throat? I suppose if you did it like hard enough.
You'd need. What are the
You need to
sword
sort of, like-
sharpener things called?
Like
What are those called?
I don't know, but I guess you'd need to sharpen it or just like
Yeah.
sedate them and then stand there for a really long
Actually,
time
no.
trying
Like,
to slit their
If I got
neck.
my if I got my scissors and like cut off like one of the corners because they're circular corners.
All right.
So if I cut off like the corner and make it like pointy, then yeah, actually, I reckon you could do
Probably
quite
kills it.
easily.
It'd be a bit difficult though. It's a bit of a hassle.
Yeah.
It's easier probably just to get a knife than to spend all the time like sharpening a key card, which then afterwards would probably be a bit useless as a key card. It'd probably break it. It wouldn't.
Good to know that
Work.
this is in my pocket like all the time. I'm gonna
probably
just
clean
like
that.
having an.
Wipe it
I've
off.
basically got a knife. I've got a knife in my pocket like all the time now. That's
You might
that's
want to
what I
get
want
it
in my
tested,
life.
see whose blood it is.
Sometimes I think, I have a Swiss Army knife. That's the closest thing I have to a weapon. Sometimes I'm like, maybe I should take it out on like a spooky, foggy night. That was me flicking it up, by the way.
Walk down the street, like
Yeah,
spinning.
some like French noir film where I take out my fedora and trench coat and be like, stand on the corner of the street, just chilling
Just chilling.
with my Swiss Army knife.
You just need like a butterfly knife. You could walk down the street with a butterfly
do
knife,
some
creeping
fancy
people out.
twirls. I actually made one of those. I made a
You made one.
a prop. I made a prop for it. Yeah.
Oh,
And
really?
It worked relatively well until I didn't want it anymore.
Could you kill someone with it conceivably, or was it too blunt for that?
You could hurt someone with it. Yeah. It was handmade. It was wooden, and
Oh, yeah.
and sharp. So and then it broke. So
Oh,
yeah.
brilliant. That's
good
good.
times.
Good story. Good story.
Thank
I believe you wanted to talk about matchmaking in TF2. Good segue there. I believe you wanted to
Thank
talk
you.
about matchmaking in TF2. The beta's out. Some people have got beta
No, it's
passes.
not. The
beta's not out.
The beta's not out.
Beta's
yet.
not out.
The beta hasn't
Sorry.
started yet. But
Excuse me. The beta is
big on the
not out.
block.
Just cut that out.
yeah.
The beta is not out.
But
Some people are getting
Valve-
passes, I think.
Yeah,
giving
the
out
fancy
passes?
folk. Basically, there is a Steam group where everything is being announced that I think it's a couple of people that are working for Valve, I believe. Don't quote me on that one, but if you're a part of that group, then a random chosen, and obviously we all know how beta testing works. It's been done for Overwatch and all that sort of stuff.
Wait, there's a special
The
group
link,
for it because I'm trying to
yeah,
find the group.
I'm a part of it. If you search my groups, it should be in there.
All
But
right, time to scroll down all of your groups.
yeah,
How many
but
groups are you in? No, not many.
it just lays question to how the whole thing is going to work. I mean, if you look at how Valve are running stuff like CS:GO and Dota 2, all that sort of stuff, they know how competitive is meant to work. They know how they can use these ranking systems, and I don't know. I just feel like it could bring a whole new lease of life into TF2. That's basically the majority of TF2 videos these days
At
as
the minute,
well.
yeah,
As everyone,
I was gonna
yeah.
make like a matchmaking video, and it's like, well, there's no point because everyone's sort of already done that.
Yeah, it's already been
It's
done.
already
And
been done.
until we find out how everything is going to work and run, if you've seen stuff on Valve News Network as well, they've been putting stuff up on there about people being able to get to certain screens of showing how stuff may be ranked up or certain servers for competitive. It does look really good, and I hope the
Yeah, they
ranking
don't screw it
itself
up
is.
again.
I hope, yeah. I just hope the ranking itself is pretty accurate too, because
Yeah, I mean, we've got to cut Valve a little bit of slack because this game is like what 8 or 9 years old now.
mm-hmm.
It's pretty
2007.
like ancient in game terms. So it's not exactly like gonna be the easiest thing to optimize.
That's true, but at the same time, I mean, considering they're getting ready to launch this new esports type dealio, this could also bring it along, bring it into Source 2 and just all that sort of stuff. I really hope so,
Yeah,
because
if TF2 became an esport, have you ever
well, I
watched
mean,
like full on esports? Like they had one. They
yeah.
had like the League of Legends thing or whatever. It might have not have been League
Mm.
of Legends citation needed at Wembley or something. And it's just
Yeah, well,
like
TF2.
super serious. And can you imagine if esports were like fucking real sports? Just a bunch of middle-aged men going to watch like a bunch of like South Korean people playing StarCraft.
Well,
Go on,
you know
my
what?
son.
You know
Get
what
in there.
TF2 is, because it's an unofficial. It has an unofficial competitive scene. It's like one of those fake versions of esports. Like you've got the
Mm.
original esport, and then TF2 is like a foreign rip-off version of an
It's
esport.
like a
It's
Chinese
like one of
bootleg.
those.
It's
Yeah,
like a Chinese
exactly.
bootleg of an
Yeah,
esport.
and it just needs that slight touch-up by Valve to actually
To get it
finally
to
become
not
one.
fuck up,
Yeah.
hopefully, for
And
once.
I just hope that the community in general. I'm sitting on the fence on this one as far as the whole free to play issue goes, and it's a completely new dimension on looking at things of how people who are just coming into the game are going to be maybe overwhelmed by like the comp scene in general
Yeah.
and ranking up. But that's really all there is to it at the minute. There is no ranking up system, so TF2 being a hat simulator, being a dress up simulator, that's really all you can do. You can only level up by getting hats
Getting
or
hats, yeah.
getting strangers. There's no way of showing your skill level. Because even if you are in competitive UGC steel or platinum or plastic like me, then
Plastic.
yeah, that even no matter what rank you are in for UGC or ETF2L or whatever, that it's still just unofficial. It's not
Yeah, it's not like
written
a
down on a
proper
contract or
thing.
yeah,
It's
I don't know.
a bit Chinese bootleggy still.
Yeah, exactly.
Podcast topic generator.
Really?
Right, yeah.
Are we
I'm
that
deadly
low of things to
serious.
talk about?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I was
Right,
going to
here we
mention
go.
Overwatch and everything.
Random questions.
Okay. Sorry, are you back? Are you
Hang
involved
on.
in the conversation, or are you still looking at generators? I'm being,
Interesting
like,
podcast topics is
super
literally
close
you
to the
type
mic
in.
right now.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware. If you type in interesting in Google, it comes up with interesting podcast topics.
Okay. Well, moving on. How are you finding not being involved in the Overwatch beta?
I'm
Because I'm
finding
not
it
involved in it.
painful. I cry every day. I wake up early so I can get more crying in. I cry until I eat breakfast, then I stop for a bit so I can have some crunchy nut cornflakes. Then I
The
finish
thing,
my crunchy nut cornflakes and cry a little more.
there's been so much controversy and people comparing it to Team Fortress 2 because it's another first-person class
Yeah.
9 shooter thingy majig,
I
and
don't get that. There's a lot of hate for Overwatch in the TF2
Mhm.
community, which I don't understand. I told people I wanted to play Overwatch, and they were like, "Oh, go Overwatch, you bloody fucking antichrist! Can't play that." Ridiculous. Why do you hate it? You've not played it.
ridiculous.
Timo even hates it. He says it's just TF2 on crack or something. Which is seriously, that's got to be a good thing, right? That's got to be a positive way of
Quote
describing it.
of the year, everybody. It's only February, and
It's yeah, and we've
that's
already
up
called
there
it.
with
We've
my.
already called the quote of the year in February.
I think it's because there are certain aspects of the game that are similar to TF2, but at the same time, it's completely different. And they're going to be
Yeah.
adding new classes as well, so they say. And they have cosmetics. I don't think I don't know if they have hats. Probably, don't know. But the one thing that I do know is that the weapons that each of the classes in Overwatch have are not going to be changed. There will be no, as far as I'm aware, no new weapons added. So the weapons you get are the weapons that you stick with. So that's one major difference when compared to Team
Yeah.
Fortress 2. But I don't know. It's another one of them topics, and I know that you've been waiting for it for ages. When does it come out? It comes out in
I don't know, like June or
June.
something stupid.
June.
It comes out like, by the time it's out, no one's gonna care anymore.
To be fair, though, I mean that's only 4 months away, so it'll go. It'll time flies. Time really does fly.
It does. It does
I mean,
indeed.
my
fly.
birthday's at the end of June, so if I could have a birthday present, hint, hint, then yeah,
Overwatch, mate. That's your present.
I've seen a lot of stuff about a lot of stuff
The
about
YouTube
copyright
controversy,
infringement.
the whole thing. I think YouTube
Yeah.
just needs a complete overhaul. There's no point going through everything and going, "Oh, change that, just tweak that a little bit." I think the whole thing's just absolutely screwed. Because it's completely biased towards people. It's not just the copyright thing, right? It's also the fact that you go on the front page and it's promoting channels that everyone's already subscribed to. It's already got like millions of subs. They don't need any more
True.
freaking promotion. It's
Yeah.
half of them are either freaking Watch Mojo or BuzzFeed. I swear to God, I've watched one Watch Mojo video and now they're all over my freaking front page. And that was a long
No
time
hatred
ago
there.
as well.
Yeah.
There's an entire bar dedicated to Watch It Again, where you can watch videos you've already seen. Doesn't
That's
it's,
true.
it's pointless. What am I getting from this? I'm getting
For the
nothing from
moment,
this.
I mean, has it affected you overall? Because it hasn't. The copyright stuff hasn't affected me
The copyright stuff hasn't
at this point
but
in time.
I think the whole point about it's the whole system is sort of constructed in a way where like all the big channels are just promoted all the time, and it's like they get all the attention and stuff, and then smaller channels get no promotion. They have to do everything on their own, have to rely on luck and stuff, and it's dumb. It's really dumb.
I guess. I mean, since you've been on YouTube, I mean, has it affected any previous channels, or did you ever get like strikes on videos?
I've never had a strike. I've had copyright claims, and then I've just been too scared of getting a strike to dispute them. Luckily, I've never lost any money from it, but yeah. Not that I do it for the money, but I've never lost any. I've never lost a video to copyright.
I did actually tell this story on a stream once, but there was a copyright issue on one of my videos a while ago, actually, that involved someone taking like the entire video of mine and
Yes,
basically
I remember
talking
this.
over it.
Yeah,
basically.
It was funny because like at the start it sort of faded in, and before you heard his voice, all you heard is well, it's sort of like really muffled. You sounded like the the announcer on like on like a plane.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that. And then he started talking over it. He was like, I don't know, he wasn't a squeaker, but he had this weird sort of nasally voice.
I mean, for those of you who actually know me, and you know, some of you may know me in person, or you know, just I don't know where I'm going with this, but a lot of people know me for not really getting annoyed at stuff. I don't get angry at things very easily, and I take a calm approach on things. But when someone does something like that, I was all out, like guns blazing, get me that copyright strike right there. And having this whole YouTube blast copyright thing going on made me feel pretty bad about it. And I went back, and you know, the guy was talking to me, and he said, you know, I'm sorry for making that video. I will take it down. Can you just remove the strike? So I went to remove the strike, but he'd already deleted the video, so I couldn't then remove the strike from his channel. So even now, I like forever just feel guilty about the whole charade, and I don't know.
To be fair though, is the view got only, you know, the video only got like 20 views. So
and the thing was, his channel is bigger than mine as well. So it was, I don't know. It just seemed like one of those things where I don't know. It just felt like he couldn't be bothered to go ahead and make his own gameplay or whatever.
Yeah, it wasn't even a TF2 channel. It doesn't make sense.
I honestly don't know, but yeah, it's the fact that I feel bad about it now.
Fucking open Minesweeper and play that for 10 minutes. It's literally the easiest thing. You don't have to. It's probably more effort to take your video, because you'd have to find the video, like see, it's not bad, it's good gameplays, and then you'd have to go on like a. You'd have to get a YouTube video downloader plugin or something, or go to a website where you can download YouTube videos, copy paste it, wait for it, then download it. It's just easy. It's probably take ages.
I know.
Unless
and it was a good 6
minutes
video. It was a good 6 minute video, so that must have been like 140 odd megabytes. So yeah, damn.
Not worth it.
Copyrights, everything. I know.
All right, it's
old.
8, 16, 20, 26. It's 8:26 according to this, to the watch here that I have. It's
speaking of Overwatch, how's your watch doing?
My watch. Right. Okay. So, I've had to do like extra, work. I've had to go in more, because it's like been exams, recently. So I've been going in a little bit more. And because I go in all the time, I got a free watch.
Of course.
But the time is in binary, so you've got to translate the time from binary to denary, like to a real number. And
what is it, binary?
What's denary, isn't it? Decimal.
I thought you said beanery, and then made me think of like your pyro's like beanie hat.
Beanery.
Sorry, carry on.
Beanery. Oh god, it sounds like something they'd use in like a Heinz advert. Or the beanery.
Is that where they make beans? A beanery?
A beanery. I don't know, maybe.
Like
a beanery.
Foundries, and they got beanies.
A ketchupery. Isn't it Heinz? Like they have like 57 varieties or something. 57.
I don't really eat that many beans.
So
they make food soggy, and it's just.
The 57 varieties of Heinz are ketchup, mayonnaise, and beans. That's it. I don't know where the other 54 varieties are. It's a bit weird how they just pick. It is 57, right? 57 varieties. It's a bit weird how they pick 57.
I'm just
varieties.
agreeing with you. I've no idea.
Do you know what I mean, though? There's only What Heinz products do you know? I mean, I guess there's like the soups.
The thing is,
how many soups are there?
There are plenty, but you come across these products, and you buy them, and you know they're Heinz, but at the same time, you really don't give a shit.
You know,
because you're only really focused on what the food is. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. But there surely isn't 57. I'm going to Google it, right? Hang on.
What's your opinion on beans, anyway?
I don't know. Kind of meh.
I'm more of an egg guy. I prefer eggs to beans. Right, like if you want. Yeah, if you want like a potato-based thing on your plate,
really specific comparison you've made there.
Yeah, Well, I mean, you have your meat, you have your like potato, whatever. So you have like chips or like waffles or something, or like I don't know, something else. And then you either have like veg, beans, or eggs. And I usually go with egg.
Oh my god, there's a
Ah.
list of the 57 Heinz varieties. Right, let's read them out. No, I'm joking.
Oh my
I'm joking. I'm not going to read out all 57 Heinz varieties.
Save that for another time.
The 57 different types of Heinz. I think they've made more because this was in 1934. This list was compiled of 57, so there must be loads more.
The original.
There
The
must be
original.
like, thousands, literally thousands.
Beans are good because they
Heinz.
provide sauce, but at the same time they make stuff soggy. So
Interesting.
There's an innuendo in there somewhere, but
Somewhere
I'm not
there's
gonna
an
find it.
innuendo.
I'll let the comment section find that one.
Do you like beans?
But,
I don't mind them. I don't mind beans.
I haven't had them for a long time.
They're all right.
Probably if they're put in front of me on a plate with a bunch of other stuff like that I haven't made this food or put it in the oven, then I will eat it. But I won't voluntarily be like, I feel like some beans. No, it's not gonna happen.
The Division Beta, I guess we could talk about because I haven't played it at all.
The what?
Exactly. The Division Beta.
What the fuck is that?
Everyone's been going mental. Have you not seen the Division Beta?
Division Beta.
Oh god, are you serious? Like everyone's
Yes,
been
I do.
talking about it, right? I haven't really played it. I haven't had a chance to play it, and there's no point 'cause it's gone now.
Right. It's another Tom Clancy
Another one.
thing.
Another Tom
I've
Clancy.
yeah, seriously, I've never been fussed on any of those.
Apparently,
literally.
it's the best game ever made by a human being. So I'm expecting big things.
I mean, the graphics look awesome, but I've never
But people say
been
that
fussed
every
on
time.
any.
Every time like a beta
What?
comes out, people are, it's the best game ever. I'm just gonna play this all the time. It's like, before Fallout 4 came out, like me and a bunch of people were just like, oh, it's gonna be the best. It's gonna be the best. I played it for like 33 hours, beat the game. I was like, oh, that's pretty good.
True.
It's like No Man's Sky. Have you seen No Man's Sky? The trailer for.
No.
Basically, it's
I
like this
really
procedurally generated space like adventure game.
Yeah.
It looks really freaking good. It looks like amazing, but I can just tell that like we're gonna be so hyped for it. We're gonna play it. And be like, that's all right.
That was a bit like a good overdone example would probably be Watch Dogs.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
There was quite a bit on that, and it came out and it just bombed. Everyone was
Yeah, but I think
just
it
not happy with it.
wouldn't have been received as badly if it wasn't as hyped up. Because part
That's
of the
true.
reason why it got like critical, it just got like hate was because it was so people were expecting it to be like the best game this side of the 20th century or whatever, and it's like
True.
it was never going to be that good. I mean, it's all right.
It's a bit like Deadpool in a way. It's a bit like movies, Deadpool, that sort of thing. I actually heard one negative review. Well, not negative, but one person who just wasn't really fussed on it
Yeah.
the other day, which surprised me because all I've actually heard was positive stuff about it. How it was refreshing, how it was different, and just out of the box for once.
But it's like also like a lot of the time, stuff doesn't get enough hype. Like it's released at a bad time or something like that. Like I'm just gonna say this right now. Some people will know this, and I don't think you might. I'm not sure. The movies, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, World's End, the Cornetto trilogy are probably my three favourite movies of all time.
Yes.
The World's End has a 7.0 on IMDb, and I am appalled by this.
Really?
Yeah, I'm appalled by it because it's a perfect 10 to me. I love it so much.
It is an epic movie. I do
brilliant.
really enjoy that movie. I wouldn't say it was a 7. I'd at least give it an 8, or at least an 8.5. But
And it
why
just,
was it
tanked.
given such a?
It just tanked at the theatre. I have no idea why, because the trailer makes it look great. The movie's great, and do you know what? I've probably watched it. So I've watched it at least like 20 times, and it gets better every time I watch it. I don't even care how sad this makes me look. All right, I've watched that movie at least 25 times, and it gets better every freaking time, because you notice more and more. Because you watch it the first time, and it's just like, oh, that's pretty good. Because I was kind of a bit disappointed the first time, because I just like watched Hot Fuzz and stuff like that. But like, I watched it like more and more, and you notice more about it, and it's seriously it's brilliant, and I hate
maybe
that it got such a low rating.
I think the only thing that could be put towards it having a low rating was maybe because of the ending. It was
Yeah.
it didn't. I don't want to say it felt rushed, but at the same time, it was. I don't know. It wasn't. It wasn't the best ending out of the
No,
Cornetto trilogy.
I'd say actually. All right, and let me just defend. I'm going to prepare my argument here. Okay.
Okay.
I love the ending to The World's End, and I'd just like to say the first time I watched it, I didn't get it. I didn't like it at all. I didn't like the ending. I thought it was stupid. I thought it was just like a, end of the world cliche. Didn't really fit the movie kind of thing. And I watch it again, and it just like again and again, and I see the ending now, and because like every time you watch it, you notice more about the characters and stuff.
Yep.
The end makes perfect sense because the whole point is right. I'm just gonna spoiler alert here. Anyone who hasn't seen World's End, go watch it.
Ages.
Right, pause
it's
this.
It's been up for ages.
Pause this, right, and then go and watch
Google
it.
the
right?
ending.
Don't Google the ending. Go pause this. Go and watch it, right, and then come back and then hear me talk about it. So the whole point, right, throughout the entire movie, he's a drunk, right, and you think that his problem is like the whole that he's drunk, he can't get teetotal or whatever.
Yes.
He's like addicted to alcohol, and you think that that's like how he finds happiness. And the point is that at the end, it's actually not that, because like there's no more beer, whatever. Right. So at the end, all the world ends. All right. That's the point. Okay. It's Armageddon. Right. Not like it's all wasteland. Right. And there's no beer or anything, but he's still happy because he's like on an adventure, and that's all he ever really wanted. Anyway,
that's all he ever really wanted.
That's the point. Anyway, I think it's a good ending. It took me a while to warm to it, but yeah, that's just what I think. Disclaimer that all of them are good, so just go and watch. Actually, you know what? I might just go back and tell them to watch all three, and then come back, unpause this, and listen to the rest of the podcast.
I don't know, but at the end of the day, that's your opinion. That's their opinion. Let us know yours if you've ever watched World's End. I hope you have.
Please do. I hope you have, because I like it a lot.
If not, then watch it for Cinnabar.
It is my favourite movie, probably of all time. And I've seen a lot of movies.
Have you ever seen Ferris Bueller?
I have seen Ferris Bueller.
That's my favourite movie of all time.
It's very good. I like it. It's very funny.
It certainly is.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I do remember seeing it.
I don't know. I mean, I think I watched it the first time I saw it. I then watched it like 4 times after that, and at the time it was around about the time, not back to back, but over the next like recurring months or so. It was around about the time that I was going to be going over to Chicago, where the movie's set.
Oh yeah,
and you get to see it in all of its wonderful 80s glory.
All of the sets.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
So it is.
Have you seen Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
I have.
It's so good. It's so funny.
It's
cheesy, but it is pretty funny.
True.
It's just one of those. It's like Wayne's World. It's kind of
I prefer
silly, but good.
I prefer Wayne's World in my.
Do you?
I prefer Wayne's World to Bill and Ted. Actually, no. I think I'm on the fence. I'm just taking a really boring standpoint to all of these topics.
Either way, Austin Powers is really good.
I've never been a fan.
Have you really?
No, I've never been a fan of that type of. I don't know. I think it's just because his character in general annoys me. Us being British as well. It just I
like it. I think it's funny.
Not my cup of tea.
Because the point is he's a dick. That's the entire point.
True.
I think. Anyway.
Maybe that's why.
So you may know that I had exams recently. For people watching this last week, I don't know when this is going out. I just think we should do it every Wednesday. Anyway, we'll have this conversation at some other point. You may know that recently I have had exams, and I've had to do a lot of exams.
I feel like
Mostly,
this is a big. I feel like this is a big announcement. I'm leaning forward
it's not
right into the microphone.
It's not a big
once again.
announcement. Point is,
Oh.
God, they weren't like the proper. They were mocks, so like practice exams, and it was most of them were really boring, but there were some where it was actually kind of funny, like it was ridiculous. So what?
How so?
So throughout all of the like English exams, it wasn't just to hear the questions, get on with it. We had one of the English teachers who I've got to say screeches like a banshee. She has got like the most annoying kind of voice. It's horrible. It's hot. It grates on your ears. It's the worst. She would clip the mic if she talked into it. Point is, she narrated every question. She didn't shut up throughout the entire exam. She was telling us, giving us tips, and all it did was distract me. And eventually it got so annoying that it was funny. In a way, it was funny. It was that annoying and ridiculous. And also in that very same exam, so we'd done the previous questions. It was like an essay paper. So we'd done the previous question. It took us about 45 minutes, and then we flicked over the.
Thanks for the timing.
We flicked over the other page for another 45-minute question. All right.
Okay.
We flicked over the page, and I read the question. It was like I can't remember. It's like, what do you think the writer feels about something or other, or whatever.
What do you think the writer feels about the things that he wrote? So, and you can read it and be like, what the fuck are you thinking about?
Yeah, that was kind of the question. Anyway, I looked down to read the poem, and it said, and I've actually got a picture of this because I managed to sneak my phone out and take a picture of what this was.
You rebel.
I know. I did well, There were invigilators like everywhere, so give me
fucking James Bond shit.
Give me props for that. I look, and it says, let me just get the file open here. It said, poem removed from exam. Poem removed from web and extranet versions due to copyright permission restrictions. Right. So basically, it was removed for copyright infringement, and we had to do a question about the poem we'd never read. And it was removed for copyright infringement. And so and then they didn't even realise, they didn't even look at the paper before they gave us it. Bearing in mind there's like there had to be like 100 copies of the paper.
Yeah.
And
Jesus.
They didn't read a single one of them. They didn't even realise. So I can see, she's starting to panic a little bit. She's like, what? She's looking around to see if everyone's got this paper, and she doesn't say anything. She looks across, right, at one of the invigilators, like, wide-eyed, sort of like, oh, God. And then she sprints out, okay? She sprints out. Like,
Mission Impossible music.
Swings the door open. We're all pissing ourselves laughing. And then we wait for about 15 minutes, probably about 20 minutes, in complete silence, obviously, because we can't tell anyone in the exam. And she comes in with a massive pile of paper, right? She runs in, she's sort of struggling to carry it, sort of like comedically struggling to carry it. She's got it piled up, like massive pile of paper, runs in, bits of paper flying everywhere, right? Yeah. And then she quickly, she puts it down, and then she has to hand it out. Obviously, the invigilators helped. To every single table, a copy of the poem. And it was the most ridiculous, funny thing that's ever happened in an exam. Apart from maybe the time when I looked over and someone fired and I nearly died. I went red that time.
What's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you, either in school or in an exam or anything like that?
Whoa, jeez, what's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me?
Yeah, specifically to you.
Oh, God.
Or if not you, then to someone else.
I'm assuming you brought this up because you have one.
Perhaps.
If you want to do yours first, because I'm going to need to think about this.
All right. Well, I mean, mine was about breaking wind. That was always fun. It was at a time when I'd had a huge breakfast the morning before.
That's That's the
I know,
worst.
and it was just after lunchtime, and the exam started well. I'm getting into my questions, but I keep having to like shimmy around in my chair, just to sort of do
Oh
like a little
god,
shimmy,
I can
trying
see
to
where this is
trying to
going.
mask it.
I can see where
Yeah,
this
and
is
and you
going.
and you're sitting there just tensing your stomach and everything, and my stomach's like making just tons of
Gargling
noise,
noises. I've had that
and
actually. That's horrible.
yeah, and like the two rows left and right to me, like going out two rows, people looking in at me like, what is this guy? What's going on with you? What is wrong with you?
Just shuffling around in your
Yeah,
in
I
your
know.
seat.
Yeah,
Oh
and my
god.
stomach's making noises
God.
like it's growling and
Oh,
everything.
that's
And
that's
I
the
remember
worst.
I remember this guy. His name was Reese Dunbar. He was a
Wow.
huge bloke. I mean, he looked like he needed two seats
Oh
to
god.
to sit there and do his exam. I know,
Oh, you've just reminded
and
me of
he's looking
another
at.
story there. Continue.
Well, he's looking at me like, are you gonna just explode everywhere? And I'm just like, no, no, it's fine, because he was a guy who would just walk around school and just let one out, just right there in the corridor. It could be as loud as anything. He would just let that thing go. And
Yeah.
I'm there, like red faced, sweating at this point, hunched over my
Oh
seat,
god, that's the worst.
staring at my exam paper, like there's no way I'm gonna get out of this. And yeah, it just came flooding out, and it was incredibly loud.
Oh,
And a
that's
couple of
terrible.
people laughed, and yeah, I sprinted out of that exam hall as quickly as my legs could take me.
Oh no.
Obviously, at the end,
Yeah.
because
Oh, that's
good
terrible.
times, good times, good times.
I can't exactly think of an embarrassing moment. We might have to revisit this when I've had more of a chance to think.
You sound like you have plenty of those
Yeah,
types of
it's just
stories.
trying to find the most embarrassing one. I'm just trying to think of a specific one I could tell. I
I
suppose
thought
the
it was
time
safe.
I suppose the time we I suppose the time
I'm waiting.
when we were playing rugby, right? It wasn't
Mm.
proper rugby, bear in mind, because we were in year 8, and so, the teachers are so afraid of a lawsuit that they
It's
make you
not
play
proper rugby.
tag
Tag
rugby.
rugby.
Yeah,
Oh
what a
yeah,
terrible, terrible sport that is. Anyway,
I know.
tag
And you always
rugby.
get that. You always get that one kid that would just like pull down everyone's shorts rather than go for
Yeah.
the tag.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
what is wrong
we've
with
got
you?
some really questionable people.
really,
We
really
really do have some
dodgy
really
folks.
questionable people. But the what happened was one guy didn't exactly get the whole tag rugby thing and thought it was just proper rugby. So I'm
Oh
running.
god.
I don't know what I'm doing because people who don't know what I look like, I'm basically like a stick insect, right? I've got like no muscle mass whatsoever. All right, I look like if I hold my hands like out in front of me, I look a bit like a praying mantis, a little, sort of like sort of ready to pounce kind of thing, but really like long arms and long legs and like,
So yeah, I can
that's
see
what I
that.
look like.
I can see that. I've
can
seen
see
your
me.
face, so I'm just going to see you as a praying
As a
mantis from
praying
now on.
mantis. But yeah. So like, I'm not exactly gonna be the best in rugby.
Mhm.
Where it's sort of better to be, quite short and stocky, and actually have muscles. So someone like throws the ball to me, and I'm not a big sporty guy. I barely catch it. I sort of fumble it twice, which already is a bit embarrassing because it wasn't even a fast throw. So I'm there
Yeah.
just like nearly spilling the ball. I catch it eventually. I just stand there, right? Because I'm so proud of the fact that I caught the ball. I don't know what to do with myself, and I just see this massive guy, right, running towards me. It's like square on, and I let out this like little eek, like a little eek, like that. I swear he headbutts me right in the gentleman's area
Oh
as
wow.
he grabs my legs, right? And I did a flip in the air and landed on my face, like all mud down the side of my face. And I
Yeah.
had to I got up like trying to play it cool, but secretly inside I was dying. And I sort of walked off like to the edge of the field so no one would really see. I was like, that's probably the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me.
Fair
Just trying to
enough.
sort between that and other ones.
The last time I played rugby, I broke my collarbone. That was fun. And
Oh.
it wasn't even it wasn't in a match either. It was in a training drill, and it was the day before. It had rained constantly, so the ground was soaking wet, and it was still drizzling at the time.
Yeah.
So my stud gets caught as you do a fake. So you fake to go one way, and then you go the other.
Yeah.
But my left stud got caught in the
See,
ground.
you
And
don't
I
have
went
to explain these things because I don't know how to play rugby.
Either way. So I faked to go right, and I went left, and my left stud got caught in the ground, and then I
Ooh.
just went down on my shoulder, broke that there collarbone. And my teacher at the time, said, "Go on, then go to the nurse's office." And here's me in studs, having to walk across concrete.
Ooh.
Really didn't help the situation.
Believe you've told me
And
this one,
then
but yeah.
I probably have, but
If it's as
yeah,
bad as
I had
I
to-
remember it, continue.
well, the thing is that if for those of you who've actually broken a bone or a collarbone or anything, it's a weird thing because you can't lift your arm up, so it actually feels like you're a robot, and you just can't lift your arm anywhere close to just can't have your arm out straight. It just doesn't work that way, and you can feel your bone just it's a weird feeling, but
Mhm.
and it's difficult to describe it. You can just feel it clunking away
Yeah.
inside you, and it's just grim. And
Yeah.
they don't put it in a cast, they put it in a sling. And,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Well, I've never
that
really
was-
broken a bone as such. I fractured my skull. Not my skull. Jesus Christ.
I was gonna say, were you in a car crash? Or
I have
something?
not
Jesus.
fractured my skull. All right. You might think so by some of the stuff that I
you never
talk
know.
about, but no, I haven't fractured my skull. I fractured my wrist, is what I meant to say.
I
Someone,
wonder what you were doing.
some idiot, slammed it in a big door. Come on, I was like 5, alright? So they didn't see, they sort of shut the door behind them as I was trying to open it. And to
There's no way
be
that
fair,
could
they were
not
pretty
sound
apologetic. They went to the hospital with us. It was me
Okay.
and my dad. I was like 5. And he came to the hospital with us to see if I was alright. It wasn't he did it by accident. But still,
Yeah.
he slammed the door straight against my wrist and it fractured my wrist. It was a big heavy door as well. It was in a pub.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's unlucky.
I had an idea where we could get but everyone we know to do a "You have been listening to Idle Talk" thing, where we get everyone we know to say that, so we get everyone to do one.
That sounds pretty American.
What do you mean? What does that even mean?
It sounds pretty cheesy.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I suppose, but I think.
Hi,
okay,
I'm
if we do...
Bob Thompson, and I endorse the Idle Talk podcast.
Well, if we do an outro now and then get everyone to give us a voice line,
Do you want to?
or you can.
Thanks for listening. Bye. That's it. We're using that.